Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli. We fight our country's battles in the air, on land and sea. First to fight for right and freedom.
On this episode of Cigars and Sea Stories, Bennett and Mike are sitting down to talk about the silly games that we play when we're on deployment. Because there's... I'll just start it off like this, okay? My son and I picked up this game that we play, right? There are these pillowy discs that are, they go on the wall for the baby to look at, and they're in his nursery, and all right, cool. Well, they're just laying around right now. We didn't stick them to the wall in this nursery. And so, I see Liam across the way, he's messing with something. I'm just zinging at his little, it's throwing a pillowy disc through the air. It's like getting hit with a cloud of a frisbee. It's fantastic. And so we just run around the house throwing these things at each other. But it reminded me so much of glow stick, excuse me, Chemlight Wars. Wow.
Glow sticks.
Call them fucking glow sticks. I'm going to haze myself. All right. I'm going to follow it. Chemlight Wars, because the power would go off and then we just start whipping chemlights at each other, which now the power's off, you're inside of a tin roof shack, and on top of it you're working out, throwing glow sticks at each other. It was good. It was good.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, dude.
I think the craziest thing that we ever did on deployment, when it came to, which it's not really crazy. I mean, it sort of is, but so the first big deployment that I did in the Army was Bosnia, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was about, I've told the story when we got a private screening at Eagle Base in Tuzla of Fight Club before it even came out in the fucking States, right?
Right.
So they had a showing, and we were like, Fight Club, what the fuck is Fight Club? So we went. It was awesome. Next thing I know, the next 2 months we spent just beating the balls off of each other and a fucking concerted Fight Club on wherever the hell we were.
You're breaking
we used to rotate. We used to rotate between, about 3 or 4. No, I guess it was 3 places that we would spend 28 days at each place.
Mm-hmm.
And rotating. We always started up a 6 or 7 man fight club and would just fuck each other up.
Oh, man.
Silly games. Lots of video games on that deployment too, but yeah, man.
See, it's for us, well, okay, and the first 2 in Hermati, you couldn't really do a whole lot in the pit. We did a lot of...
Yeah, probably not, because you were playing playing dodgeball with bullets.
Right, but you went to the pit every once in a while. Cat White on the first hooch, on the first deployment behind their hooch had a sick pit that all of the boots created by filling sandbags. And that's, of course, what you do, right? What's a punishment when you're downrange? Fill sandbags. That's it. We always need more sandbags. And so they built, there's no other way to put it, man. It's just, it's a pit. It's it's a fight pit. And the thing is double sandbag lined on the floor. It's a good 12 foot wide, 8 foot deep, all sandbag in perfect form, where it's 2, 1, 2, 1, perfect brick fashion all the way around. And the walls are 3 sandbags thick. So it is 2 men enter, 1 man leaves. It's, it was a pit. Damn, dude, you guys fucked up a lot. You guys filled a lot of sandbags. We could have put that shit on post. You decided to build a fight pit. Don't talk about it. Well, now it's gone, so I get to talk about it. But, oh man, Yeah. We would do that. We would play Frisbee. And then I got to get in touch with one of these guys because I know the video still exists. Somebody sent it to me. But there's a video of me. There's no other way to put it. It was just really stupid. You know the tow ropes? Like the ones, like you can tow a Humvee with them.
Yeah. The toe straps. Are we talking about the actual braided rope, like the big fat thick one?
Yes, that one.
The one that looks almost like it's like a fast rope almost, except for it's the braided OD green ones.
Right.
Is that the one you're talking about?
And it's got
those things. I've tried. I think we tried to break one of those, or we hooked it up to the back of 2 Humvees, and tried to pull.
Oh, that's not going to happen.
Tried to pull it, but we tried to pull it apart. So we had one Humvee going one way, the other Humvee going the other way, and then we hooked it up to a Humvee and a 5-ton, and finally got it to break. But it literally, we almost broke the Humvee when we had the freaking 5-ton hooked to it.
Right.
Because when you put those 5-tons in 6x, that shit works. Just saying, folks. That shit works big time. Those things can pull some shit.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because it's the first time I ever put one in. They're like, hey, I wasn't a part of the shenanigan when it started. And then they're like, hey, who the fuck do we have that's licensed to drive a 5-ton? Well, and then I'm the only one that had that was like, fuck it, I'll do it.
Right.
Yeah. Well, they weren't like that. They were trying to get other people because I was doing other shit. They're finally like, dude, please. They're like begging me. It was fucking hysterical. Anyway, I was like, fuck it, I'll do it.
Well, and they've got the loops with like the metal coupling right near the loop where it's one continued braided thing that's all together. And you just put it through the C-clamp hitch. It's like a utility hitch. And that's what we would tow each other out of IED holes and all sorts of shit and craters. And one day we were out, like every Sunday when we were overseas was when we went out, did like a thorough PM in the truck, not just the daily, ripped everything out of the truck, cleaned everything, counted all of the ammo, cleaned all of the ammo, lubed the ammo if we needed to put just a little bit on an AP brush, and we'd toss the football. This was typically, in Ramadi in 05, it was during the fall. So it was kind of like that fall football Sunday hanging out, chilling with the boys, cleaning ammo. It had like a weird, familiar, homey feel. And then you look towards the city and you're like, yeah, let's go fuck those guys up. But so the seniors start taking this tow rope and doing like a double dutch just start swinging this thing like a goddamn jump rope. And I'm like, I'll do that. I'll go in there. Like, why not? Dude, I'm like the spur of the moment, like time it. Okay, cool. Now you're inside of this thing. And then you think to yourself, if that rope hits me in my head, that could be real bad, like real bad. You know what I mean? Like, oh man, I did not think this through. And I'll see if the video is still out there. But as I go to leave this thing, and this is again another dumbass Mike Penny boot story. As I go to jump out of the rope, it catches me on the toe of my boot and just flips me through the air. Just like sends my big gangly body tumbling head over heels. And I think to myself like, shit, I should have put on a Kevlar before I did that. I still would have done it, but I should have put on a Kevlar before I did that. You know what I mean? God, that was...
I would say probably.
That was some stupid shit, man. Oh, God. And, it's one of those things where it was like jump rope with the tow rope, throwing rocks at ordnance. That was the thing. We did that. Told you about the Chemlight wars. when the Gatorade jugs went bad, or the little Gatorade bottles went bad, we started hucking those at each other. And then, of course, you know, you had like little pebbles or whatever, and you would just try to make them into the artillery shell, right? In the middle of like the smoke pit out back.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm talking about? Wang! Oh! Trying to sleep in here. Next time, bucket that.
Right. Yeah, man.
God, what else? Oh, out on the clearing barrels, that was another just, you know, you'd be sitting there full kit. Maybe the mission got pushed by like 20 or something. They needed to roll into the COC for a frago, like a SIGAX taking place. And you're just out there like tossing rocks. You know, maybe some asshole left his Kevlar upside down. You're trying to hit rocks in there. Ah, man, Willie. Our gunner Willie used to get on the back of the truck and use it like a trampoline. You know how the back is slanted on Humvee?
Yeah.
He would use it
oh
like
my
a
God.
fucking trampoline. And he would like, he would do like, he's like, Ultimate Warrior. And he would like do elbow drops onto our truck. I'm like, Willie, this is why we can't have nice things. This is why our shit's all broken. I'll see if I still, man, I had a video where Willie is bouncing on the truck and then whoosh, the glass factory blows up. And like you can kind of see like the top of a cloud or whatever. And it's like, Cat Red, we're going out. And just that's the end of the video. Oh man, I wonder if I can dig that up. So many things went around in the move. Did you ever sing a round in your truck? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like
where everybody has a part.
Right, exactly. Like, well, but no, we never did. We never did that. Like singing a round of like row your boat,
right,
or whatever. Right? Yeah. No, we never did that shit. Oh, maybe we probably did, but I can't tell you off the top of my head.
We did Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, right? And Willie starts it. He was a corporal, and then he's like, "Penny, go." I'm like, "Twinkle Twinkle Little," right? And going through it, he's like, "Come on, Brad, come on." To our VCs, like, you want to twinkle, right? And he's doing his part in between. He's like kicking him. Brad starts it up. Grizz starts it up in the back, right? Now the section leader's on. So we've got one guy left, right? And he's our platoon commander in the back. He's like, yeah, fuck it. Twinkle. So you have just these like battle-hardened warriors in the middle of Ramadi singing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star on a round. And then when we were all done, we cheered like a couple of fucking school children. Because, you're stuck in a truck together for like 8 hours, 12 hours, 72 hours, at a clip. Oh my God, dude. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. Crazy town.
Yeah, man. I miss Willie. Willie's no longer with us. He's a good dude. Rest in peace, bro. From what I remember. Good guy. He reminds me of the silly little games. Dude, anything to keep sane. Like, just to keep... Well, nah, I shouldn't say that. It's also to, like, fuck with my brothers. That's honestly the way that I always looked at it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I do.
It's like that little kid in you where you're like, oh yeah, I'm totally going to mess with my brother. But not necessarily a prank. Like, he's the one who left his Kevlar upside down. I'm just going to put shit in it. Like, that's dumb. Right. Don't do that. It's on your head and clipped to your gear. Why are you doing that?
Why the fuck are you doing
now I'm going to fill it with sand. Like, who the fuck filled my Kevlar with sand? I have no idea. I don't know. We were throwing rocks in it.
Fighting position? Who the fuck? Who used it to shave their face?
Oh, man. Oh,
yeah, done that. I don't know how many guys have done that. But you know, it was a lot easier back in the day when they had like the metal, like K-pot, not K-pot, but the metal helmets. You know, they used to use it as like a shaving device as well, like a basin.
Right.
Know? It doesn't work as well with the Kevlar. Just saying.
I'm going to use my Mitch helmet. Just take your nods off first. Well, yeah, and I always use my canteen cup.
Yes, correct. That's always a good one too.
Oh man. And these folks,
well, that's got every, you know, the freaking canteen cup's got, you know, Jesus, that's like your most useful piece of fucking gear there is.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. Mine said Sarnt penny on it. Sarnt.
For sure.
I've said that before.
Yep.
But yeah, because I never went to sergeant's course, I'm a Sarnt. Oh, dude. Okay, so here's another game. Maybe you did this or didn't do it. The kids, right, on post would like huck rocks at you and do all sorts of stuff. Now you can't throw rocks at kids, right? I mean, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do, but don't do that. Come on, man. Here's what you can do. You can buy a slingshot out of the market and shoot caffeine gum. Okay? I'm just saying. That's a plausible scenario. You know what I mean? But we would get into these. I mean, these kids are throwing baseball-sized rocks and stuff like that. We're like, no. Like little. And we're just kind of like tossing them. And how it started is we were tossing them. They were hucking rocks at us. Right? And so as a deterrent,
right,
when we're going on a patrol, we would snap a piece of gum down an alleyway. And it would skip all the way down. This was on the way in between PB Gumbati and the tower that was out there. And anybody who's walked that stretch, I mean, it's nothing. It's like 150 yards, maybe, but you can't really see each other. So the tower can see down to one point, and then one post can see down to another point. But then the kids in the alleyway, basically you walk through there and it's like, all right, which one of these little bastards is going to come out of the woodwork and hawk a rock at me? You know what I mean? Like,
for sure.
And we knew all the kids. Bear in mind that we knew all of these kids. It's not like this faceless dude. You know what I'm saying? I have videos of these kids and stuff, and like, we knew them all by name, and they would come out and shake hands. But this is a game that we would play. Like, this is something where we knew we were playing a game. And so these little bastards are like waiting for us. You know what I mean? Like, oh, they're doing a change out and we're going to, huck rocks at them. So we'd grab a slingshot, a little bit of caffeine gum, bing, 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 bing. And you'd see one of these things like a crackhead in Detroit zip across and grab like the caffeine gum or whatever.
For sure.
I swear to God, these little kids, they'd snag that gum and they'd pop it in their mouth and they're like, it's gum. Whoops. Like, that little kid is wired. And so we're, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah, we teach them things too. I shouldn't say we taught them. The previous guys taught them.
No, stop
things.
It. Allegedly.
Dude, I love those kids, man. They used to get us dinner. It was a joy going out to the tower. Because it was the only time that I got to sleep. That was it. I got to sleep for like 8 hours out there. It was fucking awesome.
We, what did we do? We did some trading. Some local kids in Bosnia for plum brandy. Probably shouldn't say this on the air, but fuck. They got no sway over me anymore. So MREs for plum brandy.
MREs for plum brandy. Nice.
And Czechoslovakian Pilsner. Big old
Lord.
like 16-ounce cans of that shit.
You're
like
in Bosnia, though. Right?
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I say it that way because it's like, the reason why we don't do that is so that they don't put an IED in it, and then when you pick it up, boom, you're like, oh, that's
see,
American.
this was like pre.
Right.
I mean, they did dirty rat shit too, but It wasn't the same.
Right.
I mean, we weren't in like an active shooting fucking match.
Right.
You know, we weren't on a 2-way range, you know,
All the time.
not like Ramadi or any other fucking place, you know, Ramadi, Iraq, fucking Afghanistan, take your fucking pick. We were not on a 2-way range there.
So you were
you
like,
know,
yeah, fuck it. We could, you know,
fuck it. Sure.
MREs for a little, what was it?
For a little fucking hooch.
Was this
Some
made in the
fucking
toilet?
beer?
Nah, fuck
Whatever.
it. Don't tell me.
No, don't fuck it. No, man. So yeah, so that was always fun. And a lot of times that always devolved into, you know, other fun and games.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, man. I mean, we would have. I remember then in Egypt, stuck out on that remote site. You basically pulled guard duty, and you know you could lift weights because we had like a makeshift weight room kind of thing, and we had like, you know, 4 or 5 movies,
right?
And somebody had a PlayStation or something like that. So I remember all the guys that weren't on duty, you know, we'd get together and have like, we'd all play Madden.
Oh, for sure.
Or some bullshit like that. And that shit was fun as fuck. But yeah, man.
Yeah, my second tour to Ramadi in 07, it was, I mean, clearly it was still a hostile environment, but there just really wasn't a whole lot of kinetic activity going on. And lots of downtime. And somebody had a PlayStation, and I want to say, I remember who it was, but I don't know if they want to be named down the air. But it was great though. I mean, it's not like we weren't allowed to have a PlayStation. That was totally fine. But we would play Rainbow Six, which was just awesome. we would like roll out, you know, Rainbow Six Las Vegas tandem, you know, moving in, all of that other stuff. I love that game, dude. It's just one of the most realistic warfighter games.
Right, for sure. This was during our time, you know, this was in like 2001.
Sure. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
When so the games were not at the level that they are now, or even, you know, 10 years ago.
Oh, see what up?
You know, some of these games, dude, holy fuck. Like let me put it this way. I do not own a game. I do not own my own. Jesus Christ, can I talk? Whew. I do not own a gaming system because I would be divorced.
Right.
I made the conscious effort and decision to spare my marriage and not buy a Xbox or PS4, whatever the fuck is out there now. Goddamn space shuttle, whatever, you know.
Yeah. See,
and not even for my kids. Because it will end up in divorce because my ass will be on that motherfucker. I get sucked in, bro. I'm an addict when it comes to that shit.
Dude,
you give me some. We did have a Wii for a while, but Wii's kind of suck. They always did. And I did have a Medal of Honor, one of the Medal of Honor games.
Yeah,
and I can't remember which, but it was badass. And but I had to like put time limits on that shit. And the only reason that I didn't get addicted is because it was PlayStation, or it was Wii, so It wasn't that great with it wasn't like a PS4 or fucking the other shit.
So that's like why I want to get into video games. That's like why I want to do video game consultant work and stuff like that, is because I think it would be. It's like, hey, honey, this is research. What are you talking about? Like, I gotta make sure this is good. Like, I have an excuse. No, but it's funny because I want to get into everything from like, hey, I know how to buddy rush. I'll put on that weird lycra suit thingy and, you know, do it. Like, okay, I can bring my buddies. You know, if you want to do capture and all of that other stuff and foreign weapons knowledge and voice and all of that other work that goes into it. I just have no idea how to build a video game. I love playing them, and I think that they should be really cool and accurate. Like another big one around the time that you're talking, 2001, Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, Metal Gear.
Oh,
yeah.
Dude. And now, like, I haven't played it. Okay.
The only thing I didn't like about Metal Gear was it's kind of already too dictated for you. Like, it wasn't as much like a choose your own path. Like, you had to go.
Right.
That was the only gripe I had with, what the hell is it? Call of Duty as well. Those are very scripted.
Right.
So it might be bad. The graphics are fucking insanity, but you're very limited to what you can actually do. I mean, at least at that time. I don't know about now. Unless you're playing multiplayer shit, which I know is off the fucking chain. But you're in there, battling like 12-year-old fucking kids. It just seems creepy to me. That's all I say.
Well,
and then they're talking shit like they're badass or something. I just, come on.
Dude, it's
all a game. It's all fun. It is what it is, but goddamn.
I always tell people, I'm like, look, it's like Slash trying to play Guitar Hero. Okay? Slash wrote Sweet Child of Mine. He shreds that fucking song. If you tell him to sit down and play Guitar Hero to Sweet Child of Mine, it's not very good. The song he created, he can't play on a video game. That's how I feel with Call of Duty. I can do that shit in real life. It's just that 12-year-old Chinese kid on the other side, he slides every time. Like, ugh, Yeah. That. And that's how I feel. When people are like, hey man, why aren't you very good at Call of Duty? I'm like, look, it's like Slash with Guitar Hero. I can do it in real life. I'm just not very good in the video game medium with it. So sue me. Mm-hmm. I enjoy playing it. It's fun.
Yeah, man.
That's cool.
I do. I know. That's how that shit is.
Oh, man. There's all sorts of games that we played on deployment. I'm sure you folks have got some awesome games. Give us your feedback. And we've done... I'm going to go live later on. This will be, of course, going. But we have made some serious updates to the website in regard to just fluidity, made adjustments to 5paragraph.com, which is a product of Cigars and Sea Stories that is catalyzing our military experience going outwards. We made some changes to michaeljpenny.com. We're making some changes to Bennett's stuff because he's awesome. And basically, I wanted to tell you folks about specifically cigarsandsea.com. You can go to cigarsandseastories.com. You can go to cigarsandsea.com if you're as lazy as I am. And doesn't matter, you'll get redirected. You know how that works. On there, you have the ability to suggest a guest. And when you click on that simple form, tell us who you'd like to see on the show. It's all veterans who are adding value to the world. That's who we invite on. So if you have a guest that you would like to suggest to us, you can do so on the homepage at cigarsandseastories.com. If you would like to recommend Cigars and Sea Stories to a friend, and it's not a social media share or anything else like that, if you would like to recommend it to a friend, go to our homepage, click the button, recommend to friend, and then fill out the form. Bam, they'll get an email. You'll be CC'd on it. It's all good. We really do appreciate your support. We're keeping it as organic as possible as we're growing everything out. So we really do appreciate you guys listening, sharing, being a part of the conversation, seeing how we have different products that we're looking to bring out there, but they will be our stuff that we're bringing out there. So stay tuned, stick with us. It's going to be cool. We're moving into a different evolution. We aren't going anywhere. So, but yeah, go ahead, share your comments. Tell us what silly games you played when you were on deployment. And by all means, leave us your comments, leave us your feedback, get in touch with us over social media. We're becoming ever better at the responsiveness on there. So, Bennett, do you have a factoid for our folks here?
Yeah, so All right, so we all know the planets, right? And Pluto being the 9th planet. Was it the 9th planet?
Right.
Was made a planet back in the day, right? Well, it's so far out there that Pluto was made and unmade because it's not a planet anymore. It's a dwarf planet, they call it.
Right.
Pluto was made and unmade a planet before it completed one orbit of our sun.
Wow. Made.
So that's how long that made and unmade a planet. So it was discovered and made a planet and then unmade before it even went around our sun one fucking time.
Wow. Well, there you go. That's why I stick around to the end. Boom. A little bit of factoid there. 164.8 Earth years to go around the planet. Go around the sun.
Yeah, you know what the fuck I'm saying. Hey, I'm the center of the motherfucking universe.
Huge thank you to you, our listeners, and our supporters who continue to like and share. Thank you so much. Huge thank you to Heroes Media Group, our network. We love you guys. You're awesome. Thank you to Spartan Media for building the website and your continued support, as well as to veteranslist.us, where you can get a featured membership on there. By entering discount code Cigars and Sea, you'll get 50% off, half off, when you get a featured membership on Veterans List. So we like those guys, Will and Rick. They're good dudes. They're working hard to bring a product that we can all be proud of. Well, a service that we can all be proud of. So thank you so much for listening to another episode of Cigars and Sea Stories. And on that note, we cue the music.